You in this, you in the hood, you in the streets or whatever, and you got your animosity with your ops or whatnot. I was shot at, you know what I'm saying, which rarely happens to me, you know what I'm saying, but it happens, you know what I'm saying. A dog gonna have his date. You say, well, why you didn't do this or why you didn't do that, and then that person always respond. It happens so fast. I put you in the fire, gas in the creek, the flatbed coming with some heat. The suckers don't deserve even speak. Man, this is what I want to talk about, man. I want to first of all welcome everybody back to Underground Source TV with your host OG Black Boy 3700 College Park in the building. Stand up, man. I'm just getting back to y'all, man, because I just did a whole transition, and man, we just moved into the new house. Where we finally moved into the new house, man, and y'all might hear, cars coming by because I live on this main little strip, you know what I'm saying? Way like here in the country, got this little land, doing our thing, you know what I'm saying? Praise Jehovah God for that. But I got to bring y'all this, man. I got a lot of new stories coming out, man. Big shots out to my boy B down at DHL Goodyear, man. He the one inspired me, been telling me, man, drop another show, man. You know what I'm saying? And I've been getting around to it, but like I said, I just moved into the new house, man, and living the country life right now. You know what I'm saying? Big shots out to Bangladesh, man. D.O. DeVille, Chandre Crawford, Bangladesh, man. But on this episode right here, man, I got to talk to y'all about ninjas. Real talk, man. Not that my talk ain't never about ninjas, it's always about ninjas, but in this case, man, I want to talk about like how, I look at these guys every day. I run into different guys, be around different guys and whatnot, man, and I hear them talk. And ninjas always talk about what they would do. You know what I'm saying? And their reaction to things, man. But, they never been in the heat of the fire. You know what I'm saying? So with me having experience, I know that you might feel or think that you will react this type of way. But when it goes down, it'd be a whole nother scenario. Y'all see the first 48, you get somebody in that room and then they become a whole nother person, be crying and everything. You know what I'm saying? But like for instance, you in the hood, you in the streets or whatever, and you got your animosity with your ops or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And in this particular case, this was the last time that I was shot at. You know what I'm saying? Which rarely happens to me. You know what I'm saying? But it happens. You know what I'm saying? A dog gonna have his date. You know what I'm saying? And for different people, I always see this thing where they say, well, why you didn't do this or why you didn't do that? And then that person always respond. It happens so fast. It happens so fast. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, it happened at the same time that it was going to happen. Time doesn't speeds up. Time doesn't slows down. You know what I'm saying? It's all in your mind and how you perceive it. What's going on. You know what I'm saying? It may seem that it did, it happened fast. It may seem that it happened slow, but in actuality, it happened at a normal pace. You know what I'm saying? And when the last time I was in College Park projects and a confrontation happened, I end up, burning somebody, pow, And that made me laugh. I didn't try to laugh, but right after that, like I said, right after that, this guy, he started shooting at me. We had walked across each other's path, and I kept my eyes on him because he was with the ops. He wasn't the ops at that time, but he was with the ops. You know what I'm saying? After I shot the ops, and we walked past each other. I'm on my way finna get the hell on out the hood because I know I just shot this ninja and I know the police on the way. I'm already at this time was out on bond for ag assault, armed robbery, convicted felon with a firearm, convicted felon with a firearm on the commission of a crime, and by 2 or 3 more charges. I was already out on bond for that. You know what I'm saying? And now I just popped another ninja. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get out the hood because I'm not going to jail that day. But when we walked across each other's paths, like I said, I kept looking at home. And then once we got far enough distance, which y'all know this story, we got far enough distance from each other, hung up the 9mm on me. You know what I'm saying? Now he seen me walking with a big ass 45 in my hand. You know what I'm saying? Because I hit home with a 45. And he seen me walking with it past him. But when he got a good enough distance away from me, he tried his luck. You know what I'm saying? Home could have killed me, you know. He tried his luck. Or he could have got killed too, because I had my eye on me. I just, was walking away from the scene. And he was walking back to the scene. He left the scene after I had them popped little homie. You know what I'm saying? When they got his gun. So when I'm walking away from her, he get enough distance, he up the iron on me, he started busting at me. Now, I done told this story, and I tell y'all, it slowed down. But when I say, in actuality, it didn't slow down. It was happening at just normal speed. But I perceived it slower than what it actually looked. Meaning, I stayed calm. See? You see what I'm saying? See, I stayed calm. When you panic and you don't, and you doing all this stuff and you like that, it seems like it's moving fast. But it's not moving fast, it's just your ass is panicking. But to me, I stayed calm, so it seemed like it was slow. But home up to iron on me and started busting his 9mm at me. The anger that I was at, looking back at him, I tripped, which saved my life, because as I am on the ground, I can see Lil Holmes firing his 9mm weapon at me. You know what I'm saying? Boof, boof, boof. It's broad daylight. 100 people are around. Kids and everything's out there. You know what I'm saying? Unsafe environment. And as he's shooting, I can see the fire coming out of his gun. I can, I'm hearing it. But I noticed the aim that he had on me was the direction in which I just was standing. But now I done fell down. So where he's firing at me is over my head. I noticed that. Look, I got these bees though. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't play about them bees, especially them big ones that you hear humming. I got my read. I ain't used to this country shit, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting used to it. I love it. I love it, though. I love it. But I can see him firing at me, man, and I noticed that he's firing over my head. And like I said, it seems like he's going slow, but it's not that it's going slow. It just, I'm calm. I was calm enough to say to myself and to notice that he's shooting over my head. Meaning, I did never feel unsafe. And I'm being shot at, y'all. You see what I'm saying? I know, too, when you shoot that pistol, when you shoot that gun, the recoil on it, every time it jump, the recoil on it, it's going to jump back. It's going to jump up. You know what I'm saying? So every shot, and he shot at least 4, maybe 5 shots. He got off. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about got him off before I even reacted. He shot 4 or 5 times. But like I said, these 4 or 5 times are flying over my head. Now, at one point, while I was on the ground, I actually got scared. Even though I know he wasn't going to hit me unless he redirected his aim. But I got scared. And the only reason why I got scared is because the way that I was laying on the ground is the same way my brother died when he was murdered. You know what I'm saying? Accidentally murdered. So, I sat there. It seems like a movie, until you're in it. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't never scared that I was going to get shot because of the direction he was shooting. But I did get scared because I knew that my brother laid on the ground in this same position when the last bullet hit him in the head. And what's so crazy is, like I said, I'm so calm that I'm thinking it. I said in my head, like, Treese, this is the way Maine died. But this is the way man died, your brother died. And when I thought of that, the thought of it made me lift that right arm up like Pope fishing with what his name is, Samuel Jackson, and I should bring the God hand down. hey, hey. But I raised my right hand. I'm laying down on the side. I raised that right hand up, y'all. And I started hitting that. I got that 4.5 from my cousin right out of his pocket. He was standing right there right before I got it. I got it right out of his pocket. And when I hit that dude, and now I'm walking away, and that dude shooting at me, man, when I lift that 4.5 up and start shooting that 4.5, y'all, boom, 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 boom. This is what I see. This is real talk. Y'all know how we look at the cartoons growing up. And we'll say Daffy Duck had a gun, or Elmer Fudd had the gun, and he shot Bugs Bunny up. And you see all the smoke everywhere you think Bugs dead. And then when the smoke clear, you see all those bullet holes outlining Bugs' body. That's what would happen in the homes. That's what would happen in the homes, man. I was hitting the bricks. His back was to the project's brick side of the bricks. And I was hitting the bricks, man. All around homes. All around homes. Like I was just outlining his body, like I was tracing his body with bullets. But what's crazy is I got a 4.5. No, that's a powerful gun. The bricks that was around him, they was bursting. They was busting. You know what I'm saying? They was breaking up into little crumbs and little dust. And I started seeing the dust getting all on him while he trying to shoot back. The dust getting all on him, which he realized that these damn bullets are close. And he dropped the gun and started running, y'all. He dropped the gun. He dropped the gun and started running. And what's crazy about that is, by him doing that, that's what made me escape the shooting. You know what I'm saying? Meaning I beat the shooting case. You know what I'm saying? Because he dropped his gun. He ran. I still got mine when the duck mine's off in the wood. My big homie named JoJo seen me. I ran past my homie JoJo in the hood, OG nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ran past him in the hood and threw the gun up in the woods. You know, and he seen it. You know what I'm saying? And he went and grabbed it, took it back to my cousin and everything. You know what I'm saying? But those bricks were breaking around that boy so bad, all on his arms, all in his face, head, ears, the red brick. He started busting home, got scared and dropped their gun. He dropped their gun. When the police came, they found the 9mm. They found 9mm shells. But old dude who cried, talking about I shot him, of course, they tell your name. You know what I'm saying? They tell your name. They be so hurt, they be thinking they gonna die. I just shot you in the ankle. And, but anyway, moving on. I ain't gonna dwell on that. But he ended up getting locked up, the boy who I shot, and the guys who was shooting at me, and about 3 more of their cousins and little brothers or whatever, because not only did the police find the 9mm and the 9mm shells, but when they searched the car, they found like 2 or 3 Draco's automatic weapons and things. You know what I'm saying? And then I had a line straight to my cop friends and family that's cops. So once I got to my grandmama's house, I picked up the phone and hit my cop friend. Hey, what's going on? I just shot somebody. I just shot him up in the projects where you work at. What is the word? And then, my people gonna tell me the word. Okay, yeah, they said that you shot him. He already telling the other officer, my colleagues, that you shot him, and most likely they finna have a warrant for you. So I'm like, okay, did y'all find his gun? Cause one of the guys dropped the gun. And y'all should see them shit. I was being shot at. So they're like, yeah, we recovered the 9mm, some 9mm shells, some 45 shells. I was like, that was me. And then she went on to tell me that they found 3 or 4 more automatic weapons in the guy's car. Oh, see, I'm intelligent. Like I had told one of my fans, one of my subscribers, man, I didn't get to put two O's in front of my name by being stupid out here in these streets. You ain't gonna survive like that. You know what I'm saying? So once she gave me that information or what the cops done retrieved, I used that. You know what I'm saying? Even my gun, my cousin gun, the 45, that's theirs too. I didn't turn the gun in, it went back to my cousin. I didn't turn it in, but that's what I ended up telling them. I went to the police station the next day, turned myself in. Up under the pretense of I'm going to be covered because of self-defense. You know what I'm saying? And not only did I say, use that they were shooting at me, obviously you can see it was a shootout. Not only did I use that, I know they were going to ask me, where did I get my gun from? I'm a convicted felon. I don't supposed to have it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that was their gun too. Hey, you got to use the system when the system allows you to use it. Because the system don't let you use it. The system will wrap your ass up. So any chance that you get to use the system, you got to use the system, and that's what I did. That gun that I had, it was theirs. And then the next question they're going to ask you, how did you get the gun? How did you get their gun? I said, hey, officer, while we was right there arguing, I seen one of the guys looking down at his tire. He kept looking at his tire. And I'm wondering why he's looking at his tire. So I looked down at it, because I'm on the opposite side of the car, the back trunk. He on one side, I'm on the other side. Everybody fussing, my cousin, I'm fussing, their boys fussing, and I'm looking at him. He keep looking down at his tire. So I'm like, what that ninja looking at? And I look down at the tire where I'm at, like, look down, because he keep looking at it, I look down. And when I look down, all of a sudden, I noticed that they had got out the car, and they placed some of them guns around the car. They was going to wait on the right time, grab the gun, and start shooting at us. But by him keep looking down, I seen that it was a gun here right there. And when he noticed that I seen the gun, he reached down and grabbed it. Shit, I reached down and grabbed the other one. And it's all for all then. It's all for all then. I started shooting, boom. Whoever I hit, that's who I hit, officer. But go ahead and lock me up right now because, he was shooting at me. And I'm thinking that they're going to give me self-defense off that right now. Shit, they locked my ass up. They locked me up. Now I'm back on Wright Street. I ain't even been out a month. I ain't even been out 30, 40 days for all them other charges I tell y'all. And then now I'm locked right back up. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, I end up beating that case. Once I got out on bond and then came home and then was going back to court from the outside, man, when they got all the evidence and they seen it and I'm pleading not guilty to the aggravated assault charge and all that stuff right now, they end up dropping the case. Things of that nature. But it's surprising how people, how you say you're going to do something and you think you would do it. But when you get into that situation, man, it changes so quick for you, man. And if you have the lack of experience, you don't know what you're going to do, man. You can be the best swimmer. You know what I'm saying? And if your car go over the bridge and you go into the water, you can't get a chance to swim if you can't get your ass out the seatbelt. Next time on Underground Source TV. Oh no, it all depends. It all depends. I won't say all women. If your ass go to jail, go to prison, it's bound to happen.